thank God I didn't have track today, because this is a video response that I didn't want to miss. So, I want to preface everything I'm about to say with the fact that I understand that this video that I'm responding to, Chibi's video, was not directed towards me, but I don't really fucking care, right? Snob probably won't make a serious response, and even if he did, it's going to be filled with hypocrisy because it's Snob. In case you haven't seen his reaction to the book review, there is essentially a live stream that was just based on trying to slam Snob's book. Snob finally came into the live stream after a while, and he used the exact same excuses or the criticisms that he had on other series such as ReZero and It'll Appear in the Sequel to defend his book, and it was terrible. He can't take criticism. He's super insecure. But anyways, that's besides the point. I want to go ahead and get into my thoughts with Chibi's video. So I'm going to start off with my thoughts on the video, and then there's another topic that I'm going to get into, which is criticizing other YouTubers and like the hypocrisy behind everything that's kind of being discussed right now. We'll get to that when we get there. So my initial thoughts with the video was that Chibi's video is basically a typical rant. And there were a couple of problems that I had with the video itself, and I'm not referring to the content. Like, I thought the first 7 minutes were just damage control, and I understand that you needed to clarify some things, but you could have clarified them in like 2 minutes. It just felt and especially because you had said that this issue about you being depressed was already covered in another video. It just felt as if the entire first 7 minutes were fucking pointless. The second point was just the repetition. So, the damage control and repetition were my main issues. The other thing is that so at 7:58, Chibi, he calls Snob out, and he's like, I might just insert the video clip here, but he calls Snob out, and he says, or he asked the question, are you lonely? And I thought it was somewhat hypocritical for you to say you wanted a mature discussion in the video and in the comment section, and then you throw out a really, really petty, I guess to say the least, question and accusation out, kind of. It's not necessarily what you said. It's not the fact that you were heading towards him being lonely or that he's insecure, because we all know Snob's a troll and he's lonely and he's insecure. But I don't like the tone in which I don't like the tone. It felt really immature, especially considering you had prefaced all of that by saying, I want a mature discussion. But those were my thoughts with the video. I didn't really have any largely negative thoughts about the video other than it goes nowhere for like 8 minutes. So, now I want to get to a much larger subject, which is the last 4 minutes. Essentially, Chibi talks about criticizing other YouTubers and people criticizing his content. And I want to, before I go into that entire topic, let me go ahead and specify, with Snob specifically, that Snob is not the norm. Like, Snob is not the typical person you are going to see criticizing your videos, or he's not a person whose opinion really matters. Like, he's an established troll. We all know this. He's not criticizing you at this point, and I'm referring US to Chibi if he's watching this. He's not criticizing Chibi at this point. He's just making money at his expense, and he's essentially a shit poster. Like, that's all he is. He's hyper aggressive. He's a shit poster. So, now that we've got that out the way, I want to talk about the hypocrisy, because and I know Digibro's talked about this. There was a podcast with Digibro that I talked about this, but I want to go ahead and go a little deeper into this. This idea that for some reason you can't review other people's content within the medium that you're in. So it's okay to criticize anime, but for some reason it's not okay to criticize videos, which are another work of art. That's just hypocritical. So nobody's videos are safe from criticism, and no anime is safe from criticism. Like, you don't watch a show one season and you're just like, you know, that one's kind of bad, but I'm not just gonna talk about it unless you're like Chibi from like 2 months ago. The other thing is that, like, it's okay to disagree with the content people produced. Like, when you go to a restaurant and somebody serves you food that you don't want, what do you do with the food? Or I guess, I'll change the example slightly. So when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you order and you get your food and you eat it and it tastes awful, right? You spit it out and then you complain and you go, this food tastes disgusting. And if you're my mom, then I just get really mad at you and don't talk for the rest of the night because you're the one who decided to go to the restaurant. But that's besides the point, right? But if you don't like something, you voice your complaints with it. There's no problem with disagreeing with the content somebody is producing or the style in which they are producing it. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody does this. This is not something that's just odd and psychotic. It's just normal. Like, if you don't like something, you voice your distaste for it, your displeasure for it. And then the other thing, this is the main issue that everybody has with Chibi, right? And I know he knows this. Like, you have to know this at this point. He's been doing YouTube for like 4-ish years now. The main problem people have with Chibi is not because this is a legitimate criticism that I want to get to. It's not the fact that you are really childish in approach, I guess. You attempt to put on the image that you're a legitimate reviewer when, number one, you're not, but we're going to get rid of that discussion, right? The problem is that you never have valid defenses to your claims. Like, they'll just go, oh, Tokyo Ghoul is not for kids. It is mature. Okay, why is it mature? Because everybody else on this planet thinks and knows that Tokyo Ghoul is not mature. So explain yourself. Like, that's the problem with Chibi. Most of the issues or the main issue everybody has with him is that all of his reactions are emotional. Before I go ahead and end this, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Flavio ZX2395. I'll put his video in the description because aside from this montage that he had made that was really snob-esque, he's done like 2 or 3 really good responses to like Chibi, and his videos and a lot of the hypocrisy within them. And I'll put them in the description, but pay more attention to those criticisms, Chibi. Don't pay attention to Snob. So other words, in conclusion, all I want to say is that there's nothing wrong with criticizing other people's content, right? Like, it's hypocritical to be in a medium of content reviewing and then complain and act as if you're immune to that same criticism. Like, that makes no sense. And number 2, Snob is a troll and ignore him. Like, he's Greek. Isn't that bad enough? Like, think about it this way, right? I look like a monkey. Chibi acts like a child, but Snob's Greek. Like, let me say that again. Snob is Greek. Yeah. So that's it. Go ahead and put your comments down below. I'm kind of hoping Chibi sees this. Just because he wants a discussion. I can tell that. I thought that, like I said earlier, the entire I want a mature discussion and then making the immature remarks is one thing. But, I can tell that, like, he wants a legitimate discussion, and Snob's not going to give it to you. So if you're going to have it with somebody, go ahead and have it with, like, me, or Flavio's, or just somebody who's going to give you a legitimate response, instead of somebody like Snob, who criticizes everybody else's on, like, every other medium and a piece of art on planet Earth, and then writes a book, and then shies away from the criticism, right? Okay, there you go. So, also, I didn't mean for, to do this, but in case anybody thought that I was, like, a Snob fanboy or something, I don't even like Snob. Like, I follow Snob for the same reason I follow Keemstar. It's not because I think their content is good. It's because, like, they're a hub for things happening. that's all. Yeah, that's all. Go ahead and leave your responses down in the comments below. I hope that I didn't ramble on for too long, and that my video wasn't super repetitive. I feel as if it really was. I should probably start scripting these out. I've really just been going off of like bullet points. So yeah, deuces.